The financial civilization itself is also undergoing mutation and development, especially in the past years, where the world's finance has been changing and unpredictable against the backdrop of the lingering capital. Financial civilization is increasingly showing its power. First of all, financial civilization gradually transcends industrial civilization, and its laws are completely different from the law of value of industrial civilization. When financial civilization knocks at the door, many people familiar with the laws of traditional industrial civilization are realize later and use the wrong rules of industrial civilization to calculate. The result missed out on the benefits bestowed by financial civilization. LTCM, a hedge fund company managed by Nobel laureates who are proficient in the most complex risk products and models, fell on the eve of financial civilization, and billion arbitrage funds were wiped out. When the British Chancellor of the Exchequer was about to rise in the price of gold, he mistakenly estimated the situation and left more than half of Britain's gold reserve at the lowest point in years, which caused the British government to lose at least £1 billion, leading the Parliament to ask him to settle accounts in the autumn. Secondly, financial civilization has high requirements for the quality of other civilizations grafted onto it. If they can match each other, it will have a significant amplification effect on the achievements of other civilizations. Otherwise, reverse results will occur. Former British Prime Minister Thatcher keenly seized the key to the financial explosion and implemented a major transformation of the securities market, creating a new City of London and ushering in a new era of British finance. On the contrary, the Japanese version of the financial explosion backfired, not only failing to unleash vitality in Japanese finance, but also plunging it into numerous crises. The root cause is the lack of understanding of the special laws of financial civilization. Currently, a new wave of financial civilization is quietly hitting the Asian coast. But the panic of the financial crisis, these old experiences have deeply rooted in people's hearts, making people from all walks of life afraid of what is about to happen. Southeast Asian countries that have experienced the financial crisis are typical representatives, and they have strong vigilance against the current global liquidity surplus and asset price rise. Many countries have already started deploying in late and early such as Vietnam, the Philippines, Thailand, India, etc., which have strengthened financial regulations in advance, in order to mitigate the risk of capital flight. Thailand even resorted to government intervention, which was counterproductive, while opposition to free currency floating suddenly can provide speculation opportunities for funds. Since the beginning of FIA's inconsistent words and actions constantly applying to increase investment quotas while loudly short-selling the stock market have been exploiting the policy uncertainty, instability, and unpredictability of the Chinese stock market to profit. On the other hand, the more complex a system is, the more stable it may be. On May, China's A-share market unexpectedly fell % due to an increase in stamp duty. On the same day, the H share market only fell percent while the B share market fell more than percent. This phenomenon has been referred to by foreign media as the strange phenomenon of Chinese corporate stock prices. For foreign investors, the chaos of China's finance is evident. In addition, China's finance is opening up to the outside world, and in the face of various disturbances from external forces, Hong Kong can play a buffering role to some extent. It can be foreseen that China's finance will be forced to develop greatly in the process of being utilized, and the stability of complex system self-organization. However, the complexity and chaos of the financial field itself not only confuse foreign financial capital, but also the management of China. It can only be a matter of cracking down on the situation and being dragged away by the situation. Fourthly, the Chinese-style social liquidation is the most peaceful. It is common around the world that too much funds need to be liquidated. The law is only expressed differently in different economies. In the classic market economy, the outbreak of financial crises became the main way to evaporate funds and close positions. But it brought about severe economic fluctuations and social unrest. For example, the Asian financial crisis caused many large companies to go bankrupt. In South Korea, people also used their household gold products to help the government overcome difficulties. Under China's special way of settling funds, the administrative liquidation has replaced the severe financial crisis. The management often directly forces project shutdowns in the form of policy directives, causing the chain of huge funds to instantly achieving the effect of cooling and evaporating. During this process, banks with government guarantees played the role of shock absorbers. For example, the T-Bund incident completely wiped out the billion yuan loans of 6 financial institutions, forcing banks to follow the company and suffer significant losses. From this perspective, the market economy with Chinese characteristics has alienated the classic expression of financial crisis and to some extent ensured the smooth operation of the economy. But this seems to future society will be people-oriented, and meeting people's various emotional needs will become the source of new business opportunities. Neil Pinker proposed in New Thinking that the 6 senses that the right brain era should possess include a sense of design, storytelling, symphony, empathy, entertainment, and exploration of meaning. And business opportunities lie in the experience of these 6 or even more emotional needs, such as doctors using laughter, yoga, entertainment to heal patients, transforming old factories into modern office spaces with a sense of design, the opening of the Cube era, empathy of high school, university, white-collar SNS social network services on the campus network will undoubtedly bring about the reconstruction of industrial boundaries, leading to the emergence of a large number of new industries and former TOS. On the other hand, whether it's the older generation who thinks with the left brain or the new generation who thinks with the right brain, in this comprehensive integration in the era of unity, whoever can represent the interests of the greatest majority will ultimately win. Deng Xiaoping adhered to the four cardinal principles, turning right to carry out reform, opening up and marketization, and took the middle path of giving priority to efficiency and giving consideration to fairness, so that China got rid of the ideological struggle and rose rapidly, relying on economic development. The same applies to business opportunities. Whoever can combine left brain and right brain can free from constraints and allow various elements to fuse and collide under the catalysis of creativity and imagination, so that they are no longer just looking for business opportunities, but creating them. The left and right brain connection may open up business opportunities from three aspects. One is the application of new technologies in the wave of wisdom, ecological civilization, financial civilization, etc. under the impact of various right brainization approaches. It will upgrade at a faster pace and become a carrier for generating business opportunities. Secondly, various countries may show their respective skills in seizing the commanding heights of wisdom. For example, the United States has already launched Eric plan to study wisdom. And there are still people in China who want to build smart banks. This trend will make people pay more attention to balancing left and right, and various alternative ideas such as whether software can be downloaded and memorized in the future will bring new business opportunities and sparks. Thirdly, for most enterprises, it is difficult to achieve a left and right brain connection, so it may be the norm to be forced to upgrade the version due to being dragged by the situation. A small number of enterprises with unique thinking will unleash their creative imagination, see through changes in the situation, grasp policy trends, and quickly occupy techno. For listing, in 80% this situation undermines the balance between power and responsibility, thus making the political philosophy of the country the opposite of the trend. The main reason for domestic terrorist incidents to occur is the lack of national social and persona. Responsibility matching refers to the contradiction and conflict of interests among the three parties being greater than harmony and consistency, and the destruction of this trinity relationship still stems from the division of interests and the imbalance between enjoying power and assuming responsibility. If national responsibility is still understood as unlimited joint and several responsibility for all actions, then as much hope as disappointment, national responsibility will be more manifested in providing and ensuring equal opportunities for individuals, and providing transfer payments to some vulnerable groups. In addition, the ability to provide normal channels and platforms for communication and exchange, so that fairness and justice can effectively play a role in handling unfair events, is also a requirement for national responsibility. Social responsibility is reflected in providing individuals with opportunities and conditions for free competition. Only on this basis can individuals have the possibility of equal competition, and only then can they not complain and hate society in the event of failure. The For all of this is still that the country is independent of social interests and has a responsibility for national power and borders. A clear definition of the boundary involves a fundamental issue in China's current economic structure: ownership superstition. Breaking this superstition has become the top issue in deepening reform and purifying national motivation. In the process of market-oriented reform in China, the relationship between state-owned assets and private assets does indeed reflect the trend of returning from abroad and advancing with the people. However, national retreat does not necessarily equate to democratic progress, and the weight of the two is not a trade-off in the adjustment process. In fact, the current situation is that state-owned assets are constantly strengthening and consolidating, while private assets are constantly being sacrificed and hovering on the edge. Although the 12th National Congress began to put forward common ownership as the main body and other forms of ownership as beneficial supplements, the 10th National Congress put forward common ownership as the main body and a variety of economic sectors developed together for a long time. The 10th National Congress determined common ownership as the core and non-public economy as an important part of the